Phil-Leon Academy is an academy that represents the Empire. It is the best educational institution in the Empire. It has the most outstanding professors in the continent, and it is funded by the imperial family. It is prestigious enough to be called the Factory of Heroes. It produced many amazing people like Grand Commander Adeshan, Swordmaster Shulafen, and the Winter Witch. The academy is very hard to get into. Even Irol was not sure if Ronan was good enough to attend. After walking for a while, Ronan reached his destination. When he got there, he was surprised to see that Asel actually came to meet him. Ronan told Asel that he wants to check something important with him. He told Asel to use his telekinesis to lift him up. Asel was shocked that Ronan would ask him for such a strange request. He told Ronan that he does not want to do such a dangerous thing. Ronan told him not to worry and do as he is told. Asel used telekinesis to raise Ronan up. Ronan was shocked by how high Asel could take him. While Asel's magic was not as strong as the magic used on Ronan when he fought Ahiyuti, Ronan knew that Asel's telekinesis is important because it was what allowed him to fight Ahiyuti on equal grounds. He knew that telekinesis is a rare magic that most mages do not have, so he considered Asel to be the most important element in his fight against the giants. After holding Ronan up for a while, Asel began to lose control. Ronan told him to hold on for a minute because he wants to test something. He brought out his sword and swung it in the air. Immediately he did this, he landed on the ground. Asel was shocked to see this because he did not lose control, and yet Ronan landed on the ground. He was surprised that Ronan cut his magical energy called mana. Asel asked Ronan how he was able to do it. Ronan hit Asel's head and told him not to ask about it. Even when Ronan was a soldier, he did not know how he was able to do things. He aims to understand his ability better in this life. After putting his sword away, Ronan gave Asel his bag and told him to follow him because he is about to do something that is going to be on the first page of his biography, which he calls the Empire's history book. On the way to their destination, Ronan told Asel that he is going to be joining him in Phil-Leon Academy. Asel was surprised to hear this because he knew that Ronan was a martial arts genius, but he did not see himself as someone who is talented enough to attend Phil-Leon Academy. Ronan asked Asel if he wants to waste his life and talent in this village. He told Asel that he is a coward and a loser. He told him that he will regret wasting his time in this village. Ronan knew the feeling of wasting one's life because he did the same when he was a soldier. Asel was very happy to hear Ronan say this. He believed that Ronan cared so much about him. He told Ronan that he will go to Phil-Leon Academy. Ronan congratulated him for making a manly decision. He told Asel that he has to clear his first hurdle to prove he is a real man. When Ronan and Asel arrived at their destination, Asel was surprised that his first hurdle was to defeat a lunar goblin. Ronan told Asel that it is a task that fits him perfectly. Asel understood that Ronan is a crazy person. A lunar goblin is a type of goblin that often appears around that area. Most people differentiate them from normal goblins by their yellow skin and disfigured bodies, but their main characteristic is that they go crazy over gold and other treasures. They gather all the goods they stole and have a festival on a night with a full moon. Ronan told Asel that the reason he brought them there on this night is to steal the treasures from the goblins. Asel was shocked that Ronan knew that the goblins steal treasures and have a festival on a night with a full moon. Ronan told him that he read it in a book. This was a lie. Ronan got this information in his past life. Ronan told Asel that he needs to use his telekinesis to take all the treasures and put it into his bag. Asel told Ronan that he is scared of doing this because if he makes a mistake and wakes the goblin, he and Ronan could be killed. Ronan told Asel that if they want to get into Phil-Leon Academy, they need two things. The first is money. They need a lot of money to pay for the crazy tuition fees. The second thing they need is real-life experience. While money is important, having real-life experience is more crucial. Phil-Leon Academy is a place that is filled with aristocrats who have received elite training from birth, and the only way to even dream about winning people like that is to gain experience by risking one's life. That is why the lunar goblins are perfect, because they will give them both money and experience. When Asel heard this, he was sad because what Ronan said actually made sense. After calming down, Asel began to use his telekinesis to steal the treasures. He was very careful and focused on what he was doing. After Ronan filled the bags, he thanked Asel for his efforts. He was not actually sure if Asel could do what he asked, so he was surprised when it went as planned. Ronan was very happy that he found a useful slave. When Ronan was packing his bag up, two men were chasing after a bird. They screamed at the bird in anger. Unfortunately for Ronan, a goblin woke up thanks to the scream. When the goblin looked around, it noticed that their treasures were gone. It immediately woke the other goblins and explained their situation. While Ronan and Asel were about to run, the goblins saw them. They rushed to attack them. Asel fell on his knees out of fear. He asked Ronan if they should abandon the treasure and run. Ronan told him to hold on to the treasure because they need it for their tuition. As the goblins were moving close to them, Ronan brought out his sword to check its weight and its hardness. He knew that with the quality of the sword he could only attack 15 times before the sword becomes useless. This was an issue because there are 30 goblins, but Ronan believed that 15 attacks would be enough. When he first swung his sword, he cut the heads of 3 goblins. Asel could not believe what he saw. Ronan killed the first 3 goblins in one strike, then he attacked the other goblins at a crazy speed that made him look like he disappeared. After handling the goblins, Ronan told Asel to get up because they need to return home. On their way home, Ronan felt some pain in his shoulders. He could not believe that his muscles would be sore after he sliced some goblins. He realized that it is probably because his body is still growing. He decided that he needs to do a lot of physical training when he returns to his house. Asel asked Ronan who he thinks made the loud noise that woke the goblins. Ronan said that he does not know who it is, but he will beat up the person if he ever meets them. While Ronan and Asel were walking, someone shot an arrow at Asel. Luckily for Asel, Ronan caught the arrow. Asel was surprised to see this. He wondered where the arrow came from. While he and Ronan were discussing, the 2 men who screamed at the bird and tried to shoot Asel came to meet them. They apologized for shooting at them. They asked them what children like them were doing there at night. Ronan was very angry that they called him a child. They looked at Ronan's bag and saw the treasures. They were happy to see this. They apologized to Ronan and Asel again. Ronan told them to stop their fake apologies. He asked them who they are. The man brought out a knife and attacked Ronan. He told Ronan that their group's name is Calaboro. When Ronan heard the name of their group, he took the knife away from the man and used it to stab him. When the man's friend saw this, he rushed to attack Ronan, but he is stopped by Asel, who uses a skill called Invisible Hand to hold him down. Ronan thanked Asel for saving him. He took the man's knife and used it to tear him apart. Asel was shocked to see this. He asked Ronan if he killed the man. Ronan told him that he will kill anyone that tries to kill him. He said that this men deserved what they got because the group which this people belong to is responsible for a lot of evil. They commit crimes like poaching, kidnapping and human trafficking. They are known as the Empire's worst poaching group. Ronan told Asel that these men were going to steal their treasures and harvest their organs. While clearing the bodies, Ronan and Asel see the men's bag move. When they opened it, a bird came out of it. Ronan was shocked to see the bird because it had blue feathers. When he looked at the bird's legs, he saw a chain on it. The chain is an equipment used by Calaboro to disrupt a prisoner's mana and restrict their movement. Ronan was surprised that Calaboro would use such an equipment because it is only used to capture mystical beasts. While thinking, Ronan sees a magic circle at the back of the bird and hears the bird speak. Asel was surprised to see this. He assumed that the bird could actually speak. Ronan told him that someone is speaking to them through communication magic. Ronan was shocked that the communication magic worked immediately. The bird came out of the bag. This means that the person speaking has been trying to connect to the bird, but the bag was blocking the connection. The person whose name is Vain is a professor who is researching about mystical beast. Vain said that he is the guardian of the bird whose name is Marpez. Vain said that he was not able to connect to Marpez for a while and he was just about to report to the authorities. He asked Ronan and Asel who they were. Ronan said that they are righteous passers-by. He said that they saved Marpez from poachers. Vain could not believe that Marpez was kidnapped. he thanked Ronan for saving Marpez and asked them how he can repay them. Acel told vain not to worry about repaying them. He asked vain how Marpez is going to return back to him because he looks exhausted from being chained up. Ronan asked vain if Marpez will be able to fly well once he cuts the chain. Vain said that he will. After vain said this, Ronan broke Marpez's chains in one strike. He told Marpez to return home. When Marpez heard this, he saw Ronan as a shining hero. He shoved his ass in Ronan's face. Vain told Ronan that Marpez wants to see him again, and because of this he wants him to pluck one of his feathers. He told Ronan that a dream bird like Marpez can use its feather as a compass to the main body. He told Ronan that he will repay him when he comes to his institution. After saying this, Marpez flew away. After Marpez flew away, Ronan saw something on his hand. A few days later, Ronan took the treasures he obtained to a merchant called Down Carabel. Down is the owner of the Carabel merchantry. Down was happy to meet a customer like Ronan because he brought a lot of valuable things. Ronan was also happy to meet a merchant like Down because he appreciated the items he brought. The other merchants were doing their best to scam Ronan, but Down was honest with him. Ronan asked Down if he could help him appraise an item. Ronan brought out an odd-looking egg and gave it to Down. Ronan first thought that the egg was poop. He was angry that Marpez would do such a thing to him. He threw the egg on a boulder. The egg completely crushed the boulder. That is why Ronan wants to know what type of egg it is. After taking a close look at the egg, Down thought that the egg was horse poop. Ronan was surprised to hear this. He took the egg from the man and decided to keep it for later. Ronan asked Down if he sold books about Phil Leon Academy. He told Down that they are applying to Phil Leon Academy and they need books to read. Down was happy to hear this because his daughter is also applying to the academy. He introduced them to his daughter Maria. Ronan was surprised to see Maria. Down told Maria that Ronan and Acel are important people who he just closed a deal with. Maria was surprised to hear this. She could not believe that kids like them just made a deal with her father. Down apologized to Ronan and Acel that his daughter called them kids. Ronan walked up to Maria. He asked her if her middle name is Sun. Maria said that it is. Ronan was surprised to hear this. He could not believe that Maria looked so similar to someone he knew in his past life. Ronan was confused because the Maria he knew was a man. He moved close to Maria's ear and asked her if she has a penis. Guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you guys want part 2 of this video, let us know in the comment section. Also please leave a like to help our channel out. See you guys later.